Hello, welcome to another episode of The End of the Search. This one I call it Practicing Forgiveness. Is it really necessary? What do I mean by that? Well, the practice of forgiveness is the idea that there's someone to forgive and that there is also someone who's practicing forgiveness. What we're pointing to here, it goes beyond that. When you know who you are, when there's a recognition that I am, then who would be the one practicing anything? See? Because what we don't want to get caught up is into not falling into the trap of keep holding on to the sense of identity. When you know yourself as love, or as the that which words cannot describe, you can see beyond the thinking. You see? You can see beyond all of it. Does that mean that you will be somebody like a martyr, or somebody who's cold, or somebody who would not care for other people? No, that's not what we're pointing to here. But when I know what I am resting in that peace, and the way I would find myself, quote unquote, acting towards, quote unquote, others would be a consequence, you see, could be a reflection of that which I am, which is where we're pointing to here. So I don't need to get caught up into the details of, forgiveness or not forgiving or whatever. I just need to always remember who I am, and the direct route to that is not believing anything I think. That's what we're always pointing to here, to let's honestly look, don't believe the content of the mind and what is left, and stay with that. This is what we're pointing to here. And it's not you who stay with that. Again, it's just the words are limitations, and I'm doing the best I can within the limiting construct of words. Right now, if you're not identified with thoughts, I didn't say the thoughts will not be there. Let them be. They will be. What can I say? But if you don't believe them, if you just don't believe anything you think, what is left? You see? And what is left is not an answer, is not a thought, is not a description, it simply is. And this is what you are always. This is where we're pointing to here. And once again, when you rest in that which is, you have to know beyond the shadow of a doubt that everything is you. So, if anything, you'll be forgiving yourself. But you see, you've never been judged. And in the same way, you will not have to forgive others, because they are just expressions of the self, and you are the self. And yeah, I don't have to agree with behaviors necessarily, but I can see what's beyond that, and therefore I can stay present as the love that I am, and consequently, instead of seeing someone as an attacker, I can see them as someone who's hurt, who forgot who he or she is, and is basically asking to be reminded of the truth. So in a way, it's kind of like they are saying, I forgot who I am, please don't forget who you are, so you can remind me of who I am. See? That's how we heal each other, so to speak. There's no others, there's no each other, but again, within the limitation of language, that's why love heals. And love is not a feeling or a sensation. Love is the absence of fear, is the absence of judgment. When you don't feel judged, you feel loved, and then you react accordingly. Within the world of illusion, I'll tell you a couple of stories. There's one of an individual, a kid, he was probably, I believe he was a 14-year-old or something like that, and he's mentally disabled. Therefore, he did not interpret things, he just simply see things, and that's it, but the mind would not filter anything. Well, this happened in Florida, and he was in this little lagoon or something like that, very small, spot that their parents would take him to, to just enjoy itself, whatever. Well, the parents, they got a little distracted, and when they saw the pond, or whatever you want to call it, they couldn't find him. So I think that they had to search for almost 3 days. They couldn't find the kid. And they called the armed forces, and they had a lot of men looking through all that area, and finally they found him. And the kid was fine, you know. So when they took him home, they asked him if he can point, you see, and they started pointing to drawers of crocodiles to see if he have seen any of them. And the kid could point to them as if he actually saw them, you know. And the one in charge of the rescue search, he said, in this same area, you know, we have lost 3 men because of crocodiles attacked, you see. So the only thing I can think of that justify the fact that this kid was not attacked by any of these crocodiles is because there was no fear. That's all he could think of. Another story, there was a sage that he was in the wilderness for many years, and they went to look for him, and when they found him, he was surrounded by, you know, very dangerous animals. And they asked him, Master, or whatever you want to call it, weren't you afraid of all these animals around you, you know, dangerous animals? And he would say, no, because all I see is God, you know. But he's not, again, he's not talking from the perspective of a person. This is what we got to be careful here. But he just basically made a statement. All I see is God, you know. And the deduction was that when an animal doesn't seem to feel a sense of attack or fear, well, it would not feel the desire or the need to attack. And in the animal kingdom, if the animal is hungry, well, probably he may attack, I don't know. But when he's not hungry and he doesn't sense any fear, there's a possibility that, you know, he would not attack. So that absence of fear is what is referred to here as love, okay, which is what you are. So as you know who you are, then the need to forgive or being forgiven is completely out the window, because you will always be acting according to your nature. Our nature as being is love. You see, it's peace. It's that which words cannot describe. So I don't need to be concerned about how to handle thoughts of fear or thoughts of guilt or anything like that. I just need to remind myself that these are just thoughts, and just simply see if I can find the one who's feeling those thoughts. You see if I can find the thinker of those thoughts. And if I cannot find the thinker of those thoughts, you see, those thoughts immediately lose their power. Because the reason why they seem to have power is because there's an identification with a thought that says, this is who I am, and these are my thoughts, and I am thinking those thoughts, and therefore this thought has a place to land. But if there's no one, then where can they land? And right now, if you don't believe the thought, I am this person, then no other thoughts can land on you. They may seem as passing clouds, you see, but they won't have any psychological effect on what you are. And you live your life like however you're supposed to live it, you know. I don't know what you're supposed to do with your life. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do with mine, because it's not even your life, and it's not even my life. It's just life. Life itself. Without the thought I individual, without the thought any thought, what is left? See, this is what we're pointing to. And that's the peace, that's the silence, the ever-present, all-encompassing silence, which is what you are, what you will always be, because you can never not be. And this is what these videos are pointing to. So as always, may peace permeate the mind so that love can be extended.